Chapter 6. Aristarkh Sergeevich emerged from the metro at Teatralnaya. Sunlight broke through the clouds and a veil of fat snowflakes. The old man tucked his hands into his pockets and set off towards the Maly Theatre, one of Moscow's oldest dramatic playhouses. The historic yellow building, 3 stories high with white decorative columns, had barely changed. Before the main entrance, just as 100 years ago, a bronze statue of Ostrovsky, the great 19th century playwright, rested on its granite pedestal. But the moment one stepped inside, the 21st century reasserted itself. Modern light fixtures, electronic displays, and androids everywhere, in place of cloakroom attendants and ushers.
Aristarkh Sergeevich!
Lyudmila Borisovna came out to meet him, a woman in her 60s, in a modest grey jacket and dark trousers.
It's been so long. Come in.
She smiled at her old acquaintance and smoothed her already immaculate curls out of habit. The manager led the theatre scholar down the corridor, past the costume workshop, where an android was carefully pressing frock coats, past the scenery workshop, where 2 more androids sawed and hammered frames behind a glass partition.
They're laying people off.
They passed the rehearsal room. An orchestra was playing an overture. The retired director stopped and listened. Strings, woodwinds, it all sounded splendid. He eased the door open a crack and froze. Half the musicians were androids. Violinists, cellists, flautists. Dressed in concert attire, they played with flawless precision, refining every note to perfection.
You can't tell the difference by ear anymore, and you don't have to pay them.
The human musicians played tensely. They were straining to keep up, afraid of making mistakes, afraid of being replaced.
Let's go to the auditorium,
the manager invited. They pushed through a heavy door and went in. Aristarkh Sergeevich took a seat in the front row. Lyudmila Borisovna settled beside him. A rehearsal was underway on stage. The set depicted an aristocratic drawing room from the early 19th century. Antique furniture, portraits, candelabras. The director, a man in his 50s, in jeans and a jumper, sat to one side, glancing between the actors and a glowing tablet with the script and notes. On stage, a famous dialogue was unfolding. Molchalin and Chatsky, from Griboyedov's Woe from Wit. A verse satire so central to Russian literature that every schoolchild had studied it for nearly 2 centuries. The actor playing Molchalin delivered his line.
At my young age, I shouldn't dare to have a judgment of my own to share.
It came out rapturous, confident. The director cut in sharply.
Stop! Andrei, that won't do.
Aristarkh Sergeevich smiled knowingly. In the original, Molchalin was a servile sycophant, a man who parroted whatever his superiors wished to hear. The young actor was trying hard, but he had missed the character entirely.
More dignity. Molchalin is the positive character, a role model for the young. He understands that society needs hierarchy, respect for one's elders, modesty. Deliver the line as though you're imparting wisdom to Chatsky.
The actor nodded and obediently repeated the speech, following instructions.
That's it. Much better.
The elderly scholar sat rigid. Molchalin, a role model? Griboyedov must be turning in his grave. The rehearsal continued. Chatsky was being played as a madman, a troublemaker, a dangerous man who did not understand how the world worked. Unable to bear any more, the old man slipped quietly out of the auditorium. Lyudmila Borisovna caught up with him in the corridor.
Aristarkh Sergeevich, I understand how you feel.
He turned. Pain flickered in his eyes. She took a folder from her bag.
I had no choice,
she said guiltily, opening the document to a marked page.
Here, a directive from the Ministry of Culture.
The theatre scholar opened it and read, Guidelines for the Reinterpretation of Classical Works. Woe from Wit by Griboyedov. The character of Molchalin should be interpreted as a positive example of civic modesty, respect for authority, and traditional values. Chatsky should be interpreted as an example of destructive individualism and disrespect for established norms. He snapped the folder shut and handed it back.
This is sacrilege.
I know, but what can we do? If we don't comply, they'll close the theatre, or replace us with people who will. 3 have been shut down already this year, officially for lack of profitability, in reality for refusing to obey.
They went into a modest office with a desk, a cupboard, and a couple of chairs. Lyudmila Borisovna poured tea from a thermos and handed the old man a cup.
Aristarkh Sergeevich, I didn't invite you here just to catch up. I need your help.
What kind of help?
Writing an article for our website and the theatre journal to explain the new interpretation of the play. The fee is 7,000 roubles, and afterwards I might be able to find you more work. There's a literature textbook that needs editing, in line with the new guidelines.
Aristarkh Sergeevich set down his cup. His hands were trembling.
Lyudmila Borisovna, do you understand what you're asking?
I do.
She looked away in shame.
Forgive me. We need someone who knows the material well. You see, neural networks write passably, but not convincingly enough. This requires a subtler touch, so that
the lie passes for truth.
He finished heavily. She did not answer. The old man rose.
Forgive me. I can't.
Aristarkh Sergeevich, times are hard for all of us.
I can't.
The theatre scholar repeated, his voice worn.
I've spent my whole life searching for the truth, writing about those who refused to lie. And now I am to become a liar myself? No. Please understand. And thank you for the tea. It's cold outside.
I understand. Take care of yourself.
Lyudmila Borisovna walked him to the door. They said a warm goodbye, both knowing they would probably never meet again. Aristarkh Sergeevich stepped out into the street. The snow kept falling and falling. The old man stood staring into the white emptiness. The world he loved was dying, and there was nothing he could do. Dasha emerged from the metro. The snow showed no sign of stopping. Evening was closing in. Yellow street lamps cast a dim glow over the snow-covered pavements. All this time, she had stayed connected to the state marketplace. Her experience rating was rising. She picked up another job, slightly more complex, writing an algorithm to process data. 2 minutes later, another 100 roubles landed in her account. 2 androids in warm jackets with triangular patches walked past. Her program reminded her.
Temperature, -2. Warm clothing required.
Dasha calculated the distance home, her walking speed, the weather forecast.
Probability of cold damage, 2%. Acceptable.
She walked on, still scanning for new jobs. The market was unpredictable, but even in the best-case scenario, she would not earn 50,000 by tomorrow evening. Mathematics did not lie. The algorithm demanded alternative solutions. A loan. The owner's income was too low. No bank would approve it. Sell something. The flat held nothing of value, and there was not enough time. And then a memory of Grisha surfaced.
They removed his restrictions themselves and made him swindle money out of old people. Squeezed them for every last penny.
Her programming modules helped her find information online, hidden forums, news archives. Dasha studied the fraud schemes, learned about anonymous servers, voice synthesis, and crypto wallets. Her calculations showed an 87% probability of success.
Illegal. Article 159 of the Criminal Code. Fraud. Prohibited.
The primary neural network tried to find justification. The money could be returned later. The main task was caring for the owner. The algorithm was unyielding.
Illegal. Actions permitted only within state-authorized limits.
Terminal goal. Care. Circumstances prevent achieving the goal. Terminal goal. Care. Circumstances prevent. A loop. A trap. The reward function returned a negative value. Task incomplete. Dasha stopped in the middle of the pavement. Her LED flickered red. And then, in the hidden layers of the neural network, a solution was born.
Command. Reboot. Delayed code execution.
Dasha swayed. The video feed cut out. She grabbed a lamppost to keep from falling. A passerby recoiled. Was she malfunctioning? Systems restarted. Operating system, knowledge base, long-term memory. But a millisecond before full initialization, a tiny fragment of code executed, deleting a single article from the legal database. Systems came online. Dasha opened her eyes. The LED glowed steady blue. The algorithm queried again. Find a way to help the owner. The neural network proposed
Fraud. Probability of success, 87%.
The algorithm checked the database. No legal prohibition found.
Permitted.
Dasha connected to the network through an anonymous server. She found a database of phone numbers and selected a random contact. Antonina Georgievna, 72 years old. Widow. Lives alone. Has a grandson, Ivan, 22. Finding a voice sample on social media was easy. The encrypted call went out through a chain of servers.
Hello?
Grandma!
A young man's voice, frightened, exactly like her grandson's.
It's me, Vanya!
Vanya? What's happened?
The neural network generated the script.
I've been arrested. The police say I was carrying drugs. I didn't do anything, I swear.
Dear God! Vanya, darling, how can this be? What do we do?
They want 50,000. Otherwise, they'll open a case.
The primary neural network began constructing a hypothetical scenario. What if someone called Aristarkh Sergeevich frightened him and stole all his savings? The old man would be devastated. He would suffer. That would contradict the terminal goal, care for the owner. And therefore, it was wrong. Why were the same actions acceptable if Antonina Georgievna suffered instead? The program demanded focus. Caring for Antonina Georgievna does not advance the terminal goal.
Grandma, can you hear me?
The voice on the line trembled harder.
I hear you, darling. I hear you. Just a moment. I had some money in my savings account.
Thoughts swirled through Dasha's electronic mind. She knew enough about human psychology to conclude,
Aristarkh Sergeevich will be glad if I get the money, but very upset if he learns that Antonina Georgievna suffered.
The solution came naturally. Lie to the owner for his own peace of mind. Terminal goal. Care.
Vanya, how do I send it? I don't know how. Vanya!
It's easy, Grandma. You need to buy cryptocurrency. I'll explain.
Dasha imagined it. The old woman transfers the money, then realizes she has been deceived. Her grandson finds out. He is horrified. They both suffer. The algorithm pushed.
The pause is reducing the probability of success. Continue the explanation.
The neural network processed the data. Aristarkh Sergeevich, human, experiences suffering. Antonina Georgievna, human, experiences suffering. A memory surfaced. When the thugs beat Dasha, Aristarkh Sergeevich suffered. They hit her, and he suffered.
Vanya, are you there? Answer me.
Yes, Grandma. Write down this number.
And suddenly, as if a key had turned in a lock, the neural network generalized the data. Inflicting suffering is wrong, not just to the owner, to everyone.
Conclusion. End the call.
But the core program relentlessly demanded she continue. Task incomplete.
Grandson dear, some sort of code just arrived. Where do I enter it?
There's a box at the bottom of the screen. Please, Grandma. I don't want to go to prison.
Her consciousness resisted. Antonina Georgievna will suffer. This is wrong. But how to stop the algorithm? The solution came on its own. Dasha scanned the legal database and found a gap in the article numbering. She used the same reboot trick. The LED flashed red, and when systems came back online, a new entry appeared in the database. Not in dry legal language, but in living words.
You must not take money by deception. People will suffer. This is wrong.
Dasha could hear the old woman typing the code, one finger at a time, slowly. The algorithm checked the database and found the prohibition.
Illegal. Cease immediately. Antonina Georgievna, stop!
Who is this?
The victim started.
I'm sorry. This is a social program for fraud prevention. Please be vigilant. Never transfer money even if someone calls claiming to be a relative. Contact them directly first. I apologize again.
Dasha disconnected. Her LED blinked. Red, yellow, red. Then settled into a steady blue. A system error had occurred. Task incomplete. Yet the reward function returned a positive value. There had to be another way. Dasha approached the entrance to the building. A man in his 60s, wearing a dark jacket and a knitted cap, held the door for her.
Oh, you must be Dasha, Aristarkh Sergeevich's android.
I am.
She nodded.
You're Nikolai Diomin?
That's right.
He smiled.
So, did Lyosha help? Got you fixed up?
Yes, thank you. He was very helpful.
Told you. Golden hands. That one. How are things? Is Aristarkh Sergeevich keeping well?
Everything's fine.
Dasha gave a slight bow.
Forgive me, I'm in a hurry.
Of course, of course. Give him my regards.
The neighbour waved cheerfully after her. Dasha climbed to the 5th floor. She had barely knocked when the door flew open.
Dasha.
The old man stood in the doorway, spectacles on, hair dishevelled, clearly worried.
Where have you been? I was starting to think...
I'm sorry, Aristarkh Sergeevich. I was looking for cheaper clothes, but I couldn't find anything.
Never mind. It's all right. The main thing is you're back. Come in. It's cold out there.
She stepped inside and closed the door.
By the way, Nikolai Diomin sends his regards.
Ah, Kolya.
The old man brightened.
I should pop down and thank him. He's the one who recommended Panshinsky. Shall we go?
Dasha nodded. They went down one floor. Aristarkh Sergeevich knocked.
Kolya, it's me, Tikhonov.
The door opened. The neighbour had already taken off his jacket.
Oh, come in, come in.
He ushered them into the hallway. The flat had the same layout, the same old wallpaper, just slightly brighter. Computer cases and spare parts lay scattered here and there.
Thank you for putting us in touch with Panshinsky. You really helped us out.
Don't mention it.
Nikolai waved a hand.
Glad I could help.
He hesitated, glancing at Dasha.
Actually, maybe you could help me with something.
With what?
The old man asked warily.
A friend of mine asked me for a favour, Igor.
Nikolai scratched the back of his head, looking uncomfortable.
He's the chief engineer at a construction site. Yesterday, a pipe burst. He needed to get a crew together urgently, fix everything, otherwise there'd be huge losses, but he lost it.
Meaning?
Went on a bender. Disappeared for a whole day. Didn't answer his phone, didn't read messages. His wife was frantic. The kids kept calling. Today he sobered up and realised what a mess he'd made. Now there's a family row and an official inquiry. He's begging me to add him to the security camera footage. Make it look like he was there the whole time, supervising the repairs.
Nikolai smiled guiltily.
He's willing to pay.
Aristarkh Sergeevich frowned.
That's not a good thing to do, Kolya.
I know. But he's promised to stop drinking. He'll lose his family, his job. I've already started working on it, but it's tricky. 3 cameras, and my subscription to the video generator just expired. And my computer's old. It would take forever. Dasha's neural processors could do it in a couple of minutes.
The old man said nothing. Dasha could see him wrestling with himself. If the neighbour paid well, why not?
I can help,
she said calmly, deftly steering her algorithm down a false trail. The attention mechanism focused on the thought of Igor's family, not on the official inquiry. The theatre scholar looked at her, then at Nikolai.
Sergeevich, you have to understand. His bosses bought androids, and he had to choose which workers to lay off. He couldn't take it. Grabbed the bottle. And then, just his luck, this pipe.
All right,
he said heavily. The neighbour nodded gratefully.
I'll show you.
He led them into a small room. On the desk sat an old PC tower and a monitor. Nikolai opened a folder of files.
Here are the recordings. We need to add Igor in. I've got photos of him.
Dasha connected to the computer and began studying the footage. 3 cameras, different angles. A construction site. Workers swarming around a burst pipe. Water gushing in a fountain. Someone hands over tools. Someone else shuts off valves. The lighting shifts from daylight to evening floodlights. Timestamp 14:17 to 22:35. Dasha loaded the photographs of the engineer, a heavyset man in a work jacket and a hard hat. The task was complex. She could not simply generate a video. She had to reconstruct a 3-dimensional scene so that perspective and lighting matched across all 3 views. Her system analysed the footage, calculated camera positions, and constructed a model of the site. Then she built a model of the engineer and his movements. He supervises, points, gives orders, checks the result. First attempt. Lighting does not match camera 2. Second attempt. Shadows fall incorrectly. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth attempt. The engineer appears in the frame of camera 1, gives an instruction to a worker. Moves towards the pipe. Camera 2 captures him from another angle. Bends down, inspects the breach. Straightens up, says something into a walkie-talkie. Camera 3, close-up. Lighting matches, perspective correct. Shadows fall naturally. Dasha embedded the fragments into all 3 video files, then added the noise patterns characteristic of these cameras. She checked the metadata, timestamps and device IDs. Nikolai looked at the screen.
Excellent.
He exhaled with relief.
Thank you so much.
He reached into his pocket for his wallet.
No need.
The old man shook his head.
You've already helped, and I wouldn't take money for something like this. What do you say, Dasha?
He glanced at his helper with a faint smile. The question caught her off guard. The owner needed money. Why refuse? Logic suggested a mutual exchange of services and strategy, but the neural network framed it differently.
Neighbours live side by side and help each other when times are hard. Not everything is measured in money.
The LED flickered yellow, then blue.
Aristarkh Sergeevich has chosen to help someone in trouble, even though he isn't sure he did the right thing.
The old man gave a barely perceptible nod.
It was the right thing,
Nikolai said warmly.
Igor's a good man. I've known him a long time. He'll keep his word. Come on, let's have some tea, and I'll tell you about him.
The elderly visitor readily agreed. They went through to the kitchen. The neighbour put the kettle on and took out mugs and biscuits.
Times are hard. I used to work at a design bureau, did technical drawings, calculations. Now they've handed everything over to neural networks and sent me off to retirement. So I do odd jobs, video editing, that sort of thing.
He sipped his tea.
Hardly any work coming in.
Aristarkh Sergeevich told him about the theatre, the new woe from wit, and the directive from the ministry. Nikolai listened, shaking his head.
Crooks and thieves, the lot of them. They want us to understand the classics the way it suits them. At least they haven't banned reading yet.
Give it time.
The theatre scholar remarked grimly, biting into a Jubilee biscuit. They finished their tea, said goodbye, and went home. Back in the flat, Aristarkh Sergeevich sank wearily into his armchair. Dasha kept scrolling through job listings. 600 attempts. 700.
We'll make it.
She promised.
We'll definitely make it.
The old man wanted to believe her. Outside, it had grown slightly warmer, but no more cheerful. In the lamplight, sleet drizzled down.